on the hill. Can't do much about that. He's got to worry about the danger close threat in Denmark. And careful.
Easy.
Don't run Cappy over Marsalek. Come on, man.
He almost did it again. Marsalek, please. Don't let this man drive.
Esports and esports PUBG World match.
And Norway again, AC being that forward anchor point. You can see James holding back. He knows his teammates there. He has a good run up to his teammate. The angles are cut off from what Poland would be looking at. And so his job right now, James, is to get these kills outside of the circle and try to secure themselves in Brazil. Making it difficult. Dofi is going to find the trade, though. Sparky didn't have any heals, but it's going to be Santastico to finish it off, and AC will finish them off in return.
It's a 3v2 now. Poland versus Norway. Norway has the mountains. Poland on the low ground. Norway, James and AC, two insanely good players. Been around for so long. PUBG esports. AC there has the player pinned behind the tree. Pufa just trying to dodge as much damage as he can to set up for this push from Marsalek. Grenade bounces, does some damage, but Marsalek gets spotted, and he's going to reposition off that. Doesn't want to challenge from that particular spot. More smokes are going to have to come out here for Pufa and Cappy.
Yeah, they'll be in for now, but it's kind of an awkward situation where no team really controls the center right now. You can see James flexing out on Pufa. Pufa currently looking at James and AC, and then you can see this kind of awkward fight on the top of this hill with the blue coming in. And now here comes the smokes, and you can see how close these teams are in points, which is why this is such a big impact for either one who can claim the victory here.
Absolutely. This is a great bit of battle, but man, James able to get just enough damage in. AT, though, under pressure. Cappy, good cover fire from James to put Cappy back behind the hill to go for the first aid. AT looking to swing around a little bit. The Norwegian fans getting into it right now. They want to see their home team do something special and get a win here at PNC.
And for me, this is just the experience difference between James and Norway and Poland. Knowing that Pufa was the only thing holding back this duo from actually utilizing the terrain that they're on, James was able to find that knock and completely even this out.
I like the mollies there. Force Marsalek away from that tree. Stuns are coming through. I think Cappy might have caught the bad end of one of those, so he's going to have to fall back momentarily. Poland now going to try to group up, see if they can isolate one of the Norway players. James a bit ahead of it, gets some decent damage in.
The problem is AC's vest is pretty much shredded, so you don't even need headshots to take him down. Just a nice burst, center mass should be enough to put him down. But you see the same for Cappy. His armor's pretty much done and dusted as well. I would imagine James probably doesn't have great armor either.
It's been a long, hard-fought battle again here, and now the trap is sprung. AT gets one, immediately ducks back behind Cappy. Marsalek had no idea. Last stun in the bag for AT. Trying to wrap here, trying to see if he can bait Cappy out just a little bit, and he's got it. AT going to come through with the final 2 kills, and it's going to be Norway who takes the first game of the day.
And the way that they navigated that hillside, that was a difficult position to play from. But what really helped them do that was their timing, and there they are celebrating.
He's got a shot.
I love it, but Norway, that's a big win for them, because that's going to give them even more confidence to start to really make their climb up this leaderboard into some real money.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be surprising at all to see Norway playing well. A lot of talent on that team. They have looked so strong since day one of this event, and they played that end game so darn well. And like you said, you could see that experience difference a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because Pufa just couldn't go down there. He was the anchor point that was stopping them from pushing over towards the other 2 members of Poland. And, you know, Poland tried to get aggressive there to help him out, but realistically they backed off, and that pretty much actually got Pufa killed.
Yeah, it was a tough situation there for both teams. Really not the easiest spot to be on. It's a pretty steep mountain as well. As we go back and take a look at some of the highlights, Chinese Taipei were the ones kind of get us rocking and rolling here as they took down Team Australia. Tableton able to have a couple fancy ones. Monty got involved as well from the hillside, but what really
4x drive.
just unbelievable take. But what really hurt him was Teddy, actually.
Teddy, yeah. Indonesia came in, and this is what we talked about. I mean, Chinese Taipei were the ones that initially third-partied him on Pachiki, but teams are now savvy of what's going on with these hot drops or these early fights, and so they're coming in to get the kills, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. Why not? As long as you can find the opportunity And I will say, a lot of the SCA teams are the ones finding those opportunities sooner than the other ones. And then we saw this crazy fight. TD has been just so exceptional for his team and definitely a player to watch for after this event.
Yeah, him and Trick looking really, really, really good throughout the course of 2025 for PNC. Sparking and Santastico at least able to win that battle, get a little bit further through, some smiles, you know, they felt like that was okay.
It was an okay game. Given that circle and their rotation and how difficult that was losing players early, I think that was a great salvage game for them.
Agreed. I like that. The concerning thing, of course, is that Vietnam, nobody really gained much ground. In fact, they pulled a little bit further away from China.
They got 8 more points that game, so that now puts them, I believe, at 160, so they're trying to get that gap even further, but China fighting back a little bit, but China didn't have a great game that one, so
no,
that doesn't help them.
That 1-3 split, which with Little Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea, but there's just no feasible way for those 3 to support that split of the solo player, right? And we saw Little Ghost, sure, he got 1 point, but he was down, and they could have really used him later in that game as they were trying to push that southern edge. So
it was Norway.
It was Norway, yeah.
Pushed him out of that position. I kind of wonder if, we don't know what happened, we didn't get to see it, but if Lil Ghost had been able to escape that, get back, and they do like a 2-2 split.
A 2-2, yeah, that could have been a completely different game for China.
Yeah, I think then you're looking at a different scenario there where maybe they're able to take that fight in that crossroads
more confidently, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Another thing that we really didn't get to see was what happened to USA. Sololzi just hit perfect mortars and I think knocked 3 of them.
That has to suck. I mean, that's close range mortar stuff there too, and that just not much you can do about it sometimes. When you're out in the open like that, you're trying to just run along the edge of a road.
And they were trying to deal with UK, to be fair, so they weren't even worried about Vietnam, and they just sent mortars their way, so that was ridiculous. As we now look at the top 4 teams, Norway claiming first place, 12 kills from that team, but really the duo in the end, able to clean up. So fantastic work by just the veterans AC teams.
Yeah, a solid game for Korea, 8 kills, a couple placement points. They took some good fights, some timely fights, some fights they had to, but when they took them, they were relatively clean.
And then Poland, getting second. We saw Brazil with their salvage. Poland making it second place, only 2 kills. They didn't get as much as they wanted. I think they were more focused on just their position in the circle. The man of the match, 8C, no surprise, 5 kills, 742 damage. He worked that ridge line masterfully.
And he was the one who found the timing on Korea to get that first knock, to break that fight open so that Korea just had no real recourse there. Some decent grenades from Rating, but he couldn't ever really get the gun barrel down.
Agreed, and that's the most important thing that you brought up was timing. Timing had to be perfect, because if they had done that push at any either a couple seconds earlier or later, there's a good chance that he was probably just going to get knocked, but the window of opportunity they found was just immaculate.
Yeah, he caught Korea when they were kind of busy dealing with some stuff on the other side of the road, really close game though overall. I mean, Norway with a huge 22 pointer, but everybody else is like really damn close.
Yeah, I mean, the whole leaderboard is so close as we see now. Yes, the top is pulling away, but you look all the way from Korea, I'd say down to pretty much Argentina down by 20 points. Like, that's not an insurmountable gap.
No.
And any of the teams can kind of close that. And I'll tell you what, 8th, 9th to 4th place is a considerable amount of prize pool.
No, you're absolutely right. So that is such a kind of important pivot point here to look at as we go out to another Miramar. And we will keep our eyes on that leaderboard, of course, throughout the day. We are well underway here today. We're going to see if Vietnam can keep it up or if somebody else is going to make a run here. It looks great for Vietnam. They played another solid one, but we find ourselves onto our second Miramar for PNC.
It saddens me so, because this is the last Miramar of the event.
Why do you gotta say that? Now I'm sad.
I know, I didn't want to, but I needed someone to share the sadness with me. I didn't want you to be happy and me to be sad.
You're bringing me down with you. Oh, okay.
Also, make sure, you guys, if you want to watch from specific teams' perspectives, use the multi-view. It's a great tool. Also, if you just want to support your favorite team. I know Australia was streaming. USA is also in there, China, Korea. get involved, watch those, and then just learn you something, right? It helps you so much to see exactly what they're doing from their perspective.
And how they're talking about
exactly.
things. That's
the
so important.
If you happen to understand whatever language you're watching, of course, but yes, even if you don't, just watching a team and seeing how they move and where they're pinning, stuff like that helps so much, even with your own game in let's say pubs.
Absolutely. Even loot patterns, in a way. Like, a lot of people don't think about that, like saving time in how you're looting buildings.
Or what you're taking, what you're willing not to take.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, well, we look at Norway. They are heading over to the eastish a bit, just past Hacienda, more towards the Minas Generales general direction. Norway.
Match 14 ആണ് match
Great game,
14
man.
കഴിഞ്ഞു.
Poland have another solid effort. It's just like if they can just get into that late game, they've got a shot. They're solid.
They do have a shot. Now, I will give them a break as far as their kills. They only got 2 last game, but they really did not have opportunities to get many kills because remember, they were at the bottom of that valley, and so all the fighting was happening on either peak on the west and east. So they really didn't have an opportunity to get many kills. We can see, speaking of kills and opportunities, oh no, Brazil! They're going straight for Norway. They haven't even landed yet, and this could be a disaster for the team that just won our last game.
Oh, I love this. Brazil needs points, and they know it. AC just has to throw a molly at the ground. He couldn't find a gun, so he's trying to buy himself a little bit of extra time. Did scoop up a Vector, but he's got the full force of Brazil bearing down on top of him, except for Bosa is just a little bit further out. Gotta be cautious with how many bullets you're willing to spray. BL gets the headshot with the ace, and that puts AC out of commission early.
And I love the adaptation here, though, from Brazil. They recognized it, they immediately went to punish it. Doesn't matter if it's outside of the circle. If they can get rid of Norway, that's 4 points going into whatever they're going to find consistently when it comes to placement, because they've been able to at least make it to top 8 of almost every